All right, let's get rolling. Hello. Another Tuesday, another Cube stream. Hello, Frederick. I am back from my Thanksgiving-induced coma. With a little bit of different lighting. I don't know if I 100% if I like it yet. I'm still figuring that out. One of the 2 Black Friday deals I took advantage of. One of which was another light panel. So that now, as you can see, I have a different light up here. One additional light. So my previous setup was... Hold on, let me turn down the music in my ears a little bit so I can actually tell what's going on. I had an LED panel, like a diffused LED panel over here. And then I had a smaller mini LED Elgato type thing over here to kind of beam light here. And so that would spill onto the desk, which was good. But it was also very much that if I would do anything up at this level, kind of, like if I would ever hold anything up, kind of, it would kind of be in shadow. So I took advantage of one of the sales to actually get a second larger diffused LED to go up here. So it's on like a big kind of clamp arm just out of frame, and extended like a couple feet above my head. Hello, Fedi Fio. Is that how we say it? Fio. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're just talking about lighting real quick. So I have a larger diffused panel aimed at the desk now, which helps. I mean, I'll just switch over here. Which helps soften things up a little bit. Feta Feo. We'll stick with Feta. So I'd still do get like a little bit of a lighting hotspot up at this level. And I'm also very pale, which doesn't exactly help. So I think I need to do a little bit more adjusting on like my ISO on the overhead and lower it down a little bit. Actually, let me do that. Let's do that real quick. You get to see my lovely shirt here while I think I need to bump down my ISO one more notch here. Then I think that helps for sure. Because I was like trying to dial in some of my lighting earlier, but I was like getting light through my windows that are right behind my desk. And so that isn't exactly accurate for the cold depths of winter when I don't have any light coming through, and I need to filter that out. So I've got my panel over here, my panel up here, and I still have the little one, but it's not on currently. Just kind of chilling over here. It's actually on, I don't know if this will show up. It's on an old mic arm that I had. I used to keep my my podcasting mic on it. And I haven't really used it for that much recently, so it's been more of a light holder. But maybe I can repurpose that for something else now. So you have to let me know what you think of the lighting, if it works, if things are legible, because I just reset things up today, because I had also cleared out a bunch of stuff from the office on this side, because I was supposed to get fiber internet installed today. And so I had made a path for them to have a lot of the equipment kind of set up in here, so then I could, directly wire in the computer and stuff like that. But what happened was they came bright and early to install stuff, and they would need to run a fiber line off the utility pole that is in my backyard. And they got out there, trudging through the snow, they got out there and discovered that the base of the pole was rotting. So, like, so much so, like, they actually have a tool specifically for testing utility poles. Like, they actually shove it into the wood and it just went clean through. And so they're not actually allowed to climb it or do anything with it because it is. I mean, there are tension wires to the ground as well as wires to both my house and like my three neighbors because it's like there's like where the fences of our houses are pretty close in our neighborhood, and where the fences meet, there's a pole. The utility pole is there for electric and fiber and everything that's kind of running through this part of the neighborhood. And so there's like four houses off this one pole, and they couldn't do anything with it. So we have to get the pole replaced. So I contacted the utility company because they're the ones who actually our electricity provider is the one who actually owns that pole. So I had to call them and be like, hey, so that pole's rotten and we need to get it replaced. I mean, I'm glad we found out. I mean, I'm bummed that I didn't actually get fiber internet today, but I also don't want a utility pole to fall on my house or any of my neighbors. So don't know when that's going to happen. Don't know when they'll be able to get out here to replace it. So, like it's also like the ground's covered in snow. There's not a lot of room to navigate back there. So I don't know what kind of equipment they would need, how long it would take to disconnect electricity from at least four houses. Probably maybe spring. That's what I wouldn't be surprised. I imagine it has something to do with crew availability as well as temperatures, whether the ground is frozen. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I just got in touch with the power company today, and so they have it flagged in their system. They're going to send someone to investigate it, actually look at it, and then I'm sure they will come up with a plan from there. But I imagine they also don't want it to be, my partner mentioned, and this is a good point, I thought, that they probably also don't want it to be a liability on them, because if something happens over the winter to this pole, if it's already rotten through at the bottom, if it falls and damages somebody's house or fence or whatever, that's on the utility company. And I imagine they would want to try to mitigate that risk if possible. So maybe we can have we'll see. I don't know when they would send someone out, but we'll see if we can get a fast resolution. My fiber internet installation ticket in their system is kind of on hold so that I can keep the discount that I got when I did the sign up for it. And we'll see if we can pan this out. So, but we'll stick with good old Xfinity internet for now, for today. But anyway, all that to say, it's been an interesting day. But let's dive into what we're doing today. First off, there were a couple interesting keyboard things that have come up that I thought were interesting. Anybody have any fun stuff happen for Thanksgiving? I stayed here, which was honestly very nice. Did not travel, did not have a big to-do, just kind of chilled with my immediate family. And then we were going to do a big Friendsgiving this past Saturday that ended up getting canceled because people were going to have to drive from another town, and there was a big snowstorm that came through. Although in terms of Michigan snowstorms, it was nothing much. So we ended up not doing that, which was kind of a bummer, but honestly very restful and nice, which was cool. You shot computer videos. Very cool. Like building PCs, like that sort of thing? Or something else. Gonna take out the trash filter. Hello, Max. Welcome. Rebuilding your PC. Very cool. Is this gonna end up on a YouTube or something? Very good, very good. I want to watch it. But all in all, very chill, which was very nice. Let's take a peek. I need to make sure that I'm sharing the correct thing. Oh, actually, I should pull down a picture first, is what I meant to do. Something from the Novel Keys Discord. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, da. Too many messages. Oh, wait, let me just go. Here we go. Pin messages to save the day. Because since Novel Keys doesn't really do interest checks, so they have some stuff that's on their Discord that I meant to kind of pull in. They've got a new set that's going live on Friday, which is interesting. Currently, you're ingesting videos to the Linux computer. Sounds delicious. Nom nom nom. All right, let me get my correct window in focus. Oh, that changed. Whoops, that just changed the background. It's not what I wanted. All right, for real now. So this is a fun set that's going to be going live on Friday through Novel Keys. And it's blue, Frederick. But it is their unobtainium blue because it is based on, I think, one of their website headers. They had an image of a GMK keycap set that I think Riley altered digitally to match their brand blue. And people have asked about this for a while as far as like wanting a Novel Keys blue set of keycaps for real. And so they're actually making it. And there's some fun little Novel Keys-ish Easter eggs in here. We've got the, Ron. They got their logos. We've got the East Coast Keyboard Mafia stuff in here. Bub. The little Ron. Very similar to the novelty keycaps from the meetups. Their old original logos, a bunch of the different Ron emoji from like stickers and the Discord and all that kind of stuff. Also, I love this joke where there's, in addition to having backspace, there's also a threaded, so that you end up getting threaded insert next to each other because of like people raising a stink about threaded inserts in the Discord before with like the key cult and different things like that, or the Series 22 PC and titanium key cult, and I think other boards as well, but that was been the most recent case of it that I've remembered. So that's kind of fun, little threaded insert. But it's a really fun, I think it's a really fun set. I've been saving my pennies. I want to get in on it. Ended up skipping out on Mictlan and Ada both because I've got some other budget things to keep in mind. But depending on how this price comes out, I might go for it. And I think there's also a bunch of, and I couldn't track it down. There's also going to be a bunch of extra. Oh, here it is. I found it. There's going to be a Superfan kit. Let me pull this in. Nope, not that one. Here we go. Which I think will also have a bunch of these kind of party Ron in different colors and stuff. So I think that's kind of broken out from the main kit. But well, I guess we'll see for sure on Friday when it actually goes up. But interesting stuff. And then another thing that actually just came to light today on Omnitype's Discord was something that I actually heard about in advance from Garrett at the Novel Keys meetup, which was about GMK Redacted coming back in a couple different forms. Actually, let's go to the dev doc here so we can see. So, of course, the original one was essentially black on white with UV pad printed, Sharpie redaction through some of it. But now, oh yeah, here we go. This is closer to the original. But then there's also going to be a new highlight kit, which really speaks to me, and I think is a really cool use of the whole UV printing thing. Declassified, which is essentially just black on white. And then some extra novelties. Command kit, thank you so much. Omnitype takes care of us Mac users. And then some desktop options. But I think I also think it would be really fun to do a set that was like WOB, but had like whiteout over it. I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose of redaction. It's not quite the same. But I think that would also look pretty cool. So I'm not as interested in redacted at its core, but I do like the highlight idea quite a bit. I think that's kind of fun. I think that's a fun little twist on it. So that's an interest check right now. If you're interested, you can find that on the Omnitype website, I believe, as well as their Discord. So there's more information on that, and also more renders and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. You want that highlight kit? Keyrist! Welcome. Brand new streamer. Everyone should follow her for the next time she goes live. Oh, sorry, Alquan, I missed your thing. You think the W key should be that green highlighter? Instead of an aqua? Now that's a good point, because we've got kind of a... Can we zoom in more on this? There is a blue, and then there's kind of this like aqua-ish. I do agree that the green should be more green. So maybe I haven't filled out the interest check yet, so that's actually a good shout. I might throw that feedback in there. That I feel like those should be more distinct from each other. And you think that the W should be green? But W means go. Well, here, I'm going to throw if you're interested, if you've got feedback for Garrett, there's the interest check right there. So feel free to fill that out. I'm going to probably do the same after the stream with some different thoughts, but thank you for helping yesterday. Absolutely. It was really cool to do the test stream. I didn't know you had already started doing that stuff yet, so I'm glad that it was kind of shouted out in Alex's chat when he was looking for someone to raid. But I'm also glad that you were able to have a chiller time with it and you didn't have 100, 200 people descending on you all at once. So that would be somewhat nightmarish, I imagine, if you're just trying to figure stuff out. When I first started out streaming back in May or so, I started out small with just doing some like lunchtime game streams. And that definitely helped me get my sea legs, so to speak. But really, I was so glad he didn't raid me because I was not ready to... Yeah. Well, somebody brought it up like, hey, Keyrist is streaming. And I was like, oh, I didn't know they were already getting stuff together. So anyway. Fun. Glad to see more folks streaming for sure. Let me get rid of some of these pictures that I don't need on my desktop anymore. Speaking of when I started streaming, we're kind of going back to the beginning a little bit today. I'm waiting on a couple more projects as far as like my streaming backlog goes. So I thought I might rebuild the first board that I built on stream, which was a Font Awesome edition. Well, where is it? Font Awesome edition mode Sonnet. And I love that build quite a bit. I took it to the Novel Keys meetup back in October. But the more I've used it, the more I realized I wanted some heavier switches in it. And I thought I might also play around with the lattice blocks and stuff like that a little bit. So just to kind of have some fun with it. And I also haven't really shown it off on my channel because I did that build on Font Awesome's channel, which has not streamed since, even though we do have some ideas for some upcoming icon design things to do with it. But yeah, maybe just show it off, be proud of it a little bit since I helped design it, and make it a little clackier perhaps. I'm gonna put in some different some heavier switches. Might go with some of the harder lattice blocks. We'll see. When I used to play a lot of Apex, Alex used to raid me when I was in a top 3 situation. Oh yeah, not stressful at all, right? Super chill. Yeah, I don't think I could ever stream anything with any level of like competitiveness to it. Like what I've streamed so far has actually just been Playdate games, which I actually need to charge this, which is like fun little whatever games on this, you know, like little jokey party games and stuff like that, or little puzzle platformers and things like that. So yeah, I don't think I could ever do anything that actually required focus. I do have an interesting little capture device that I backed on Kickstarter that's going to be coming in hopefully soon, that I want to actually run my Switch through and maybe try to do a little bit more Switch gaming on here. But we'll see. That might be something in the new year. We'll see. I had raid alerts, sound alerts, follow alerts, game sounds on my teammates' comms trying to focus on all at once. Oh gosh. Sensory overload. You'll also notice up here a little bar, which I have not sized correctly, but here it is. For a little follower tracker, because we're getting very close to 100 followers. And I mentioned this on a stream, I guess a couple weeks ago now, that I'm thinking about doing a little giveaway once we hit 100. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back, Smacks. Needed to rebag some stuff. Sounds ominous. I'm just talking about when I hit 100 followers, we're going to do a little giveaway. I know a lot of folks do like subscriber-based giveaways. I am nowhere near that big, nor do I necessarily want to be. So just kind of as a little show of appreciation, I'm thinking about giving something away when we hit 100. Giving away a keyboard. Today we might actually give away some switches toward the end, because I have some that I want to get rid of. And I'm actually going to see if this works as far as rules go. Nope, it did not work. Hold on. All the fun live stream stuff that you get to think about. Well, it's turned on. Let's see. Cooldown, cost, permission, CloudBot. We'll try turning CloudBot off and on again and see if that works. The universal tech support. Let's try this. Hey! Alright, that's working. So, when we do give something away, these are what the rules will be. You have to be a follower. You'll pay for shipping if you want it, and I'm only shipping to the continental United States for right now. But as far as switches go, switches are pretty light, so shipping should be nominal, I imagine. But anyway, we'll do some of that later, because I sort of figured out how to do giveaways a little bit. So I have a couple different packs of switches we might give away toward the end. But for now, let's actually do some keyboard. As I also need to rebuild this at some point, because I've noticed, if you go back and watch the VOD of us rebuilding the Cycle 7 together, the PCB was being real bendy. And it has actually, I don't know if this will show up. Maybe you can see a little bit of the curvature. But you can see that like it's actually like the keys at the extreme edges are actually like bowing down a little bit. So there is still a weird bend to this. So I may have ruined the PCB by putting in those nebula switches, because the grip they had on that thing was just warping it all to hell. So at some point we'll address that, but It is not this day. Thank you for the follow, Elquambot. Is this to bump up the follow count? Oh, nice, and the thing updated. I wasn't sure if it would. Cool. Because for some reason I had to set a bunch of weird parameters around it, like a cutoff date and all this other stuff for the goal in order for it to actually even show the correct number. But anyway, seems to be working now. All right, so let's dig in. Here's our lovely board to rig the giveaway. Yeah. Maybe so, maybe so. Our lovely Font Awesome edition Sonnet. This was something that we worked with Mode to put together for a Kickstarter that we ran last year, which was actually for Web Awesome, which is one of our other products. It's a web component framework, so it's not icon related. But for this, we actually worked with both Mode to produce a special edition of the board, and we worked with Signature Plastics to create our very own set of double shot DSS keycaps. So the set that came as part of the Kickstarter, if you got this board as an add-on, only had the blue accents, and was also mostly just enough keys for the 75% layout, with some options to change like the media stuff or the column and things like that. I'll be dipping into the complete set, which I have, a little bit to maybe adjust, maybe add some different accent colors and things, because we also made green, yellow, and red accent pieces for the usual places. We did not create the different colors of the Sonnet accent bar, but that's more so to go with some other details like our lovely engraved bottom with a bunch of our icons on it. And there's also an engraved weight inside, which you can't really see, but it's kind of nice to know that it's there. Anyway, I put together this board on the Font Awesome channel back in like June, I think. And so I thought it might be fun to revisit it here after a fun first half year of streaming now that we're in December. So, probably change the lattice blocks out to something stiffer, because it's a PC plate in here. And then I also want to change, because these are the lighter weight HMX clouds that I've got in here right now as well. Grab some supplies here. Is the new lighting still looking okay? Does anything seem too blown out or weird? I'm also getting used to the new lighting, so any feedback is appreciated. Oh, I see. I would never rig, don't need more keyboard stuff. Well, what if you did, though? We're giving away some Wuxie switches, probably. Oh, got them right down here. Lighting's good so far? Thank you. Good to know. It's also nice to not have as much of it directly in my face, because I've got more top-down happening. So as long as I can see I'm like glowing up here. But let's dig in here. Remove try to keep some of this. Actually, I'll do this. Keep some of them in order, because I do actually have all of these mapped to like screen brightness and all the usual Mac stuff that these are meant to represent. Except for the moon. I don't have that set to anything. If I had like manual, I need to set it to like switch to focus mode or something. Did I hear giveaways? Yes. Yes, we will do a giveaway. A giveaway or two, potentially. If you are a follower and you live in the continental United States. And we'll go over the rules again before we actually ship anything. It won't be as exciting as like when Frank does his marble runs or anything. It's just whatever Streamlabs has baked in, but nothing too fancy. But I want to test it out before I actually do a keyboard giveaway at some point. I also have this little duder here. I'll pop it out and then show it higher up. Our little awesome face. Focus. Focus. Don't look below. There it is. Our little awesome face guy opens up the macOS emoji picker, which is one of my favorite little shortcuts because that's like a 3-key command thing. Crap, the cons of living on an island in the middle of the ocean. What island? Where are you from? If you don't mind saying. Australia. Very cool. I visited Australia with my high school band in 2004. We performed at the Sydney Opera House as part of our trip. Because at least in the US, you have, at least oftentimes, so I live in Michigan. And there's an organization called MSBOA, which is the Michigan School Band and Orchestra Association. And so if you're in a band or an orchestra as part of a school, you have competitions. A district competition and then a state competition. So if you do well enough at district, you go to state. And so on. And so we always regularly performed very well, got superior ratings. And so as part of that, it was actually right before I got to high school at my school. They had done well enough at state to then go on to a national competition at Carnegie Hall in New York. That was like the year or two before I joined, and they had done well enough there that they got invited to an international competition in Australia. And I got to go. And it was amazing. Australia is the real life land of the lost and forgotten. I really enjoyed Australia. Granted, we did a lot of touristy things. We did get to go into the interior slightly, not very far, but we went to, oh gosh, now I can't remember. Hold on. There was a little school that we also visited more inland and actually did like a homestay, which was pretty cool. It must have also been in New South Wales, but oh, it was Bathurst. So barely inland, I guess. Yeah, Bathurst. And there's a school there. Saint somebody. I'll have to look all this up. But that was really cool because we performed at a school there. Famous car races there. Very nice. See, I did not know about any of that. I mean, I was about to say I was an idiot in 2004. I still am. I was a younger idiot in 2004. And wish I had done more like exploring and stuff, but you're also in high school and there's chaperones and there's only so much fun you can have, but I would love to go back to Australia and see more of it at some point. All right, I don't need to keep all these in order. We can give you a little bit more. Grab and pull now. Yeah, I'd love to see more of Oceania in general. I'd love to go to New Zealand. But now I have a 6-year-old kid, so travel is different. We did take her to Europe this spring, though. But that was less of a time change than it would be trying to go to Australia or someplace like that. But I don't know how things have changed as far as getting to Australia in the last 21 years. But flying on Qantas was one of my favorite travel experiences. Like, it was really nice, even flying Even flying coach. All right. We got our HMX clouds in here. I picked these because I had used the heavier version in a different build. And they're also some of the closest blue I've gotten to... Whoops, that doesn't help. Some of the closest blue I've gotten to Font Awesome blue. Which isn't necessary, but it's also kind of a fun detail. Let's see, I think I got a little tiny bag. I don't know if all the switches will actually fit in here. Still waiting for my first stream badge. Oh, that's right. I remember you brought that up. I have one of those first badges for Novel Keys' Twitch account, because I was one of the first people to subscribe to them. But we got to get Keyrist up to 40 followers. Then she can be an affiliate if she wants to. Hot take, I think all switches should come in different colors and sounds and force. You followed Keyrist. Good job. Why is that kind of stuck? What are we wedged in here? There we go. That was weird. All right. Our little secret weight. Go make something awesome. I laid out that engraving in addition to working on the one on the back. Heard my name was making coffee. I'm just telling people to follow you so we can get you up to affiliate. Okay. Let's move this out of the way. I was about to say it's a little late for coffee, but you're in Japan, right? So it's... Oh wait, let me do the math. Is it like 14 hours ahead? I'll have to stream 4 times per month, though I don't have boards to build 3 more times. I mean, the majority of my work this year was just rebuilding everything. Rebuilding stuff in my collection. Because I'm part of a co-working space here in West Michigan. So is Frederick. And I hosted a little keyboard event there back in October, so people could like try out a bunch of boards and have a good time. And so to get ready for that was basically my giant queue of like prepping all the boards, which was kind of a nice backlog to have and a nice kind of goal. Time zone info, Japan Standard Time, 14 hours ahead. I thought so. I thought so when you were doing your test stream and mentioned what time it was, and I was trying to do the math in my head. So yes, it being, what, 9 a.m., great time for coffee. It is 7 p.m. here in the past. How is Wednesday? Is Wednesday nice? Hopefully we will also have a nice Wednesday once it gets here. Dark and gloomy and rainy. Well, it's been gloomy and snowy here, so I understand some of that. All right, so this is wedged. There we go. So we've got the kind of greenish lattice blocks in here currently, which are a little bit squishier. I think the fall coffee is good. 9 a.m. No sleepy. Must be cold. Yeah, it's cold. I think it is. It is right around. It feels like around 20 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Which is about negative 6.6 Celsius. Is that right? I remember the first time I really came up against Celsius temperatures was when I used to work for a Canadian design agency. So I still lived in the US and worked remote for a company based out of British Columbia. And like the first time I like visited there for like a get together of all the employees, was like in an Airbnb in Victoria, British Columbia. And I looked at the thermostat and it said that it was like 30 degrees or something. And I was like, what the? That can't be right. And I was like, wait, Canada. I don't know if 30 degrees was right, but it was like whatever, like 70 degrees Fahrenheit equivalent is. I've thought about the merits of Celsius, and I think it was my boss who had a good thing to say about it. It was like, for measuring the comfort of people, Fahrenheit makes more sense. But if you're measuring, like, if water is your main concern, then Celsius makes sense. The freedom units, yeah. I used to even have it memorized, whatever the conversion calculation was. Like, there was the whole thing of, like, there was, like, a weird fraction in there, like 5/9 or something. I don't remember, for, like, converting Fahrenheit to Celsius and all that. Anyway. The things I had to use in school that I never have used since. Hello, Lamp. Welcome. I don't think anything important is happening. Oh no, other people going live actually on Twitch. That's what those are. Hello, Frank. Thank you for the sub again. Oh good, my auto shoutouts are working. Love the mat. Thank you for your support. Absolutely. I sneaked in like right at the last second as part of the group buy for this mat, and it is so nice. Not only because I am a big fan of public transit and use it every week, but I can also go longer without washing it. Shout out trains, yes. There's also our buses here in Grand Rapids. Some of them also have a pattern very similar to this. And that's typically what I use because we unfortunately do not have any decent light rail around here. We have an Amtrak that runs like one train a day or something like that. You can get to Chicago that way, but you have to, like, the train leaves at 6 a.m. and then that's it. It was inspired by the MBTA Red Line here in Massachusetts. Oh, I want to go to Massachusetts. I have coworkers in Massachusetts, and I want to try to do like a New England-y work get-together with them at some point. I've been to a lot of other like surrounding areas. Like I've been to New York State, I've been to Rhode Island, I've been to Connecticut. never made it to Massachusetts. I want to come visit. The two coworkers I have are both in the Boston area. And then I have another coworker in Vermont and another one in New Hampshire. And somebody in Connecticut too. I think there's a decent little New England contingent of Font Awesome folks up there. The best New England state. That is what those two coworkers tell me. As they do like Massachusetts. And actually our CEO used to live in Massachusetts. Also attended MIT. Boston and Providence have a ton of designers. Yeah. All right. Will they fit? I think they'll all fit in this little bag. Well, I don't know if they'll zip all the way. Let me tuck my little label in here. Just so I know these are the lighter HMX clouds. Unfortunately, like, I feel like this is something that HMX has gotten better at as far as further delineating small variances in their switch line. Like if there's two different spring weights of a thing, or like a tactile version and a linear version of the same thing. Like I was looking at this yesterday with the Silent Zeros, I think, because Divinity had them on sale. And there's like the stem was a different color, which is nice. But like with the blues, or not the blues, the clouds, there is no physical difference between the two spring weights. And so I've had to make sure that I keep them very separately. Like this. These are the heavier weight, and these are the lighter weight. And they look exactly the same. So, gotta keep them separate. All right, let's see. Do I want to change... Do we want to go super clack and take out the plate foam? Might try that. I'll especially need to keep the standoffs in then with this flexi plate. So let's see, what do we need here? We need, oh, this will work. Yeah, I imagine Providence does have a lot of designers, because isn't RISD is still a pretty big deal, right? The Rhode Island School of Design. Is that in Providence, or is that in a different part of Rhode Island? I don't know. I think I'll keep the PE foam. But let's see how we do without plate. Without the plate foam for a little bit. How's the music volume? I also have that adjusted a little bit from last time. Sound all right? Sounds good? Sweet. I know it also varies by song and all that, but... Just want to make sure it's not too overpowering or also just not audible at all. Getting fancy, hey beast. Well, it's because I want to give people a keyboard when we hit 100. I'm doing it for the people. I'm also trying to learn more about Streamlabs and all of the different functionality it has. Different things I can show on the screen. What am I giving away? I will be giving away an early edition Mode Envoy. It was an early, like a a raffle prior to the initial release of the board. So it's a solder polycarbonate with a PVD weight and accent. And I have it soldered with hand-lubed W4Ts. I do need to touch up the stabs, though, before I give it away. But that is the plan. So no caps, but it will come with switches and stabs. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. Let's do the HMX Arowana Blacks. Let's check some stats on these. And also see what this message was. Who is messaging me while I'm trying to stream? Okay. Let me pull up my spreadsheet. The good old keyboard supplies. Switches. Watch me not actually have any details on these. They might be too long ago. Yep, I don't. They do have a spring weight of 65, and they're linears. Let's pull them up over here. So this is what we're going to use. So they're a collab between Boucher and HMX. Here we go. So here's the deets. PC top housing, P2 bottom housing, and a puck stem. 55 gram actuation, 65 gram bottom out. Not available anymore. But I picked up a bunch of these. The blacks, the reds, and the yellows. Or golds. I don't remember what they call them. Golds. Reds, golds, and blacks. The reds I have in the Neo 65 right now, and the golds I have in my Proto Yellow Classic TKL. But these I'm actually going to plan on using when and if the Event Horizon comes. It will come. But I'm going black, black, black on that one. So black switches, and then black keycaps. Let me grab this just because I know there's standoffs, but we are getting a little bit flexy down here. After the Mirandis, I'm not sure I'm willing to try those. Well, these are made by HMX. So these are not Woucher manufactured or whoever they did. I have a bucket of Mirandis over there that I also considered giving away, and I'm like, I don't want to inflict these on anyone. But I'm not going to use them. The stem wobble on those things is insane. But yeah, but these were made by HMX. And I liked the reds already quite a bit in my Neo 65. And the golds too. Although I do want to rebuild. I need to change the Classic TKL a little bit. I think I might want to go with an aluminum plate in there. But they are out of stock through Novel Keys right now, and I don't know that I want to get one cut at Hype or anything like that. Are there any deep sounding HMX switches? Bought a bunch, but they're all high pitched. I would say the majority of the ones I've tried do go high pitched. There are deeper ones for sure. I think Milktooth has some good videos about deeper HMX switches to try. And I find that also depends on the materials. Like, for example, what am I looking for? Like, the more palm that's involved, I feel like the deeper they get. Milktooth. Yeah, Milktooth is a nice vendor. They have a lot of really handy breakdowns on switches and like switch types and sound profiles, and we'll kind of do some nice roundups every now and then. Also, sometimes based on popularity, like these are the 5 most popular tactile switches right now, based on their sales data and other stuff like that. But then they'll also do some handy videos of like, are you looking for this kind of sound? Here's some switches to try. Really great vendor. I've really enjoyed their stuff. That might be where I would start. I personally don't usually gravitate towards the deeper sound as much, so I'm not a great resource for that. Appreciate it. Absolutely. I'm also much more, I feel like, on the trial and error side of stuff. Like I can't like look at a thing and be like, ah, this is made of such and such. I can imagine how it will sound. I'll be like, I'm just going to throw it in the board and see, because I really have no idea. I have no idea if this is a good idea or not. Is deep thocky or creamy? It's all subjective. I would say probably, I feel like people associate depth with thockiness. But, you know, like, one person's terminology may not map exactly to what someone else thinks. I feel like creamy is sometimes more associated with marbly. But again, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the deepest HMX switches are that I have, or what I consider the deepest. Gonna check them out there. Yeah, absolutely. Love to help. Actually, there were some... Oh, what did I put into the class? Cilantros. I don't have this blah, 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 blah. I don't have the stats on those. HMX Cilantros, I feel like we're a little bit deeper. They're a collab with Akko. Or Akko. I don't know how you say it. These right here. Well, Palm. Yeah, Palm and PC. And PA66 are the materials for there. But I felt like these ones were a little bit deeper. But they're a tactile. I don't know if that's something you're interested in, but they were a little bit more on the deep end for me when I put them into the class 413s. So I don't know if that's... do I have a board with Zinhais? No. I do not. Do they sell them? I've definitely seen them. I've never gotten any. There's so many HMX switches now, you cannot keep up. But then I think this was one of the earlier offerings, right? Like they've been around for a bit. I feel like. Do you like those beasts? So much of my collection is HMX switches now. Although I have been enjoying some Gateron stuff recently, like the Laranges, the Type Rs. They're your favorite having 3 boards. Oh, well, I'll need to take a look. I'll need to... Let's see if... Well, this is Unikeys. Those ship from China. Let's see if Milktooth has them. I mean, let's just look for a second at the enormity of HMX offerings. Like, there's just... there are so many HMX switches now. And this isn't even all of them. But, like... Whew. Goodness sakes. Oh, here you go. I forgot this, too, if you're still watching, Max. That they also have a lot of descriptors on Milktooth, which is one of the things I like, where you can filter by, like, a lot of typical sound terms and profiles. So if you wanted, like, Thocky HMX, there you go. That's what they consider to be Thocky. So yeah, so in addition to those videos where they do the roundups and stuff, I didn't know HMX was getting the Hall effect. Yeah, so they have that too. So I actually meant to see if they have. Ooh, there's 2 of them. So this is what, a 45 gram, and what is the heavy one? 62 gram. Which one do you like better, Beast? The lighter or the heavier one? The lighter one might be too light for me. What does it say, 45? Woo, 45, yeah. Really? Okay. I have all board with 45 gram switches in it, and it is so touchy. May just be something I'd have to get acclimated to, but it's like, those are also HMXs in that one. They're jellies, I think. Because they're the closest ones I could find to high vis, actually. Max's set. Speaking of which, we getting some high vis switches anytime, Tim? As if you have nothing else to do. Let me pick novel keys. I mean, that'd be fun to get them made. What is it? Is it Type Plus that did the granites and the NK Classic blues? Those are pretty damn good. I feel like some nice little Type Plus high vis switches would be fun. I have not tried the heavy ones. Okay. Maybe I'll get a batch of each. Let's see what I like. Let's see, this is probably close enough to the standoff. I don't need to fork it anymore. It has been fun to rediscover a love of tactiles, though, because I initially started out definitely like 100% member of the tactile gang. And then eventually kind of my taste drifted more into linears. And now I feel like all these great tactiles have been coming out, light and heavy both. Like, whoop. HMX has been doing some great stuff. I've loved like the GAT Type Rs. And so now I feel like I'm swinging, reaching more of an equilibrium between my love of linears and tactiles. All of my HMX collections from the early days. I'm trying to think of what my first HMX was. It might have been like Hyacinths. It probably was Hyacinths. Dude, 6. Keep throwing these switches around. Well, that one went way back there. Almost went down the drain. Big fan of the Hemu Geon tactiles. I have not tried those. I feel like I've really slept on Geon stuff. And I want to get more in there. I've gotten... At some point, like I feel like I didn't find out about... Like I wasn't tapped into the right sources. And totally have missed out on most of the F1 stuff. I think it was actually watching Frank's streams that made me more aware of that. And like the history behind it and everything. Let's see, do I have, what does my bottom row look like? Good for those. Key Geek Y2s are my favorite. I've heard good things about those as well. Hi, Keyers. Why am I not a mod here? Do you want to be? Yeah, I need to add Keyers to my shout out list when people join the chat. Let's see, where is that? I have that in here somewhere. Is it the alert box? No. These are things that I never use very often in Streamlabs. Frank is mod for every keyboard streamer, I swear. Frank collects he does that once. Yeah. There you go. Hey, Ty. He's a mod for me, I don't even stream keyboards anymore. That's what I hear a lot about. I've yet to try is BCPS. Just had such a fucked up time getting home on here. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that due to the weather? Are the roads a mess? Oh, there was an ad. Get out of here, ad. Sorry to hear about that, Ty. Oh, they're finding my tariff. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. This car. I feel like it's been giving you nothing but trouble. Also had a flat tire today. Oof. Not a good day. I did not drive. I don't drive very often. But it's fine, I'm normal. Well, I'm glad you made it back. Let's see. Let's take a peek. Whoa, what wizardry are you pulling, Frank? I'll add command SO. Shoutout commands. I thought I had a thing already set up for that. What was I looking at? Well, thank you for doing that. I should have added Franco a long time ago. Just running through testing stuff. I do already have a YouTube one, but it is not YT. But that makes more sense than typing out all of YouTube. He can't be stopped. Well, you keep going, Frank. I'm going to build a keyboard. Thank you. I appreciate the crash course masterclass. All right. Got some of our other blocks here. I only stream like once a week. I don't pay much attention to how I have everything set up. I also use Mastodon, but I don't do a ton there. Have I ever been to Chicago-style gyro on Leonard? I have not. For as close as we lived to Chicago, I have not done any Chicago-style food here. I've definitely done Chicago beef in Chicago, but Mastodon is for the true neckbeards. It's true. But a lot of type and development people that I follow are over there. Never heard of Mastodon, wow. You're too cool, I guess. I drove in circles trying to find it on my way home and I gave up. No, I've never been there. Just too old to care. I mean, that's totally fair. I, for one, have not been participating in social media much at all for the last 2 months. So these were the... Oh wait, maybe these are the hardest ones. So we got squishy greens, solid. Well, maybe I should stick with these then, because these are solid. These ones are... These are the squishiest. These are medium. And these are the hardest. Okay, never mind. Type people are neckbeards. I mean... You're not wrong. I guess maybe the least neckbeardy type people I know are the Hood Sisters and James Edmondson. GPS keeps saying I'm right outside. I'm like, where? I never heard of Mastodon before you talked about it either. I mean, it's definitely gotten a lot more momentum since, you know, Twitter has been disintegrating. But it was like, I feel like it kind of began in like 2017 or even earlier. But Midlife Crisis is buying fonts. Oh, I have so many fonts. Future fonts, though. Future fonts is where it's at. Just noticed I'm building a sonnet. I am. This is a sonnet that I helped design. This is the Font Awesome edition mode sonnet. My one claim to keyboard fame for now. Let me put these back in. I think I will stick with these since they're the firmest ones. They definitely did get a little squishy up there toward the top, though. Stay. All right. So what all did you add here? There we go. I'm going to clean up some of these commands. There's some weird stuff going on in there. Sorry, Frank. There we go. I also had to like turn off and restart my bot earlier because it was like not responding to any commands. So I don't know what that was all about. What's the latest font you bought, Tim? I'm curious. Latest on what? Well, you just said that you've been buying fonts. I wondered what the latest font you bought was. How's the ASCII F stuff going? That affiliate I've been... Oh, yeah. Another one I'm sad to have missed out on. What was I looking for? Something... There they are. Bookmarks. Bookmarks. Long story short, boards are on their way to Zenclack on the boat. Oh yeah, you mentioned that on your most recent stream, didn't you? It's a beautiful looking board. Almost brought Proxima Soft and condensed. Decided it was cheaper to keep my Adobe subscription. I'm always looking at fonts to buy for my website. Oh, there you go. You mean for the new website overhauling the brand, finally using the font I used for Noi? Is that correct? You actually said it. I remember at some point during the meetup, and I was like, oh, that's how you say it. Because like an idiot, I was just saying new in my head, even though I knew that wasn't how it was pronounced. Noi? No? Nui. Close enough. Listen, I'm a dumb American. So just to revisit our lovely engraved Font Awesome back here that I helped design for this edition. With a fun, a lot of our little icon Easter eggs. We have some groupings of interesting things. There's also a little bit of narrative here and there. Like for example, we've got a little bit of Super Mario here. We've got some movies. We got a little row of coffee stuff up here. We've got a little Pac-Man going on over here. Some design and writing. We got D&D. We've got a little Star Wars trench run going on here. Playing cards. Some coding and original Mac stuff. Chess. A lot of fun little tidbits. And the playing cards got added because we also included the playing cards I designed as part of the same Kickstarter. So, would you design a Web Awesome version? That's something we've talked about, is maybe working with Signature Plastics again to create a little, essentially a small, like add-on novelty kit that people could buy if they wanted to, which would come with like orange accented versions of the, do I still have that here? Like a Web Awesome orange version of the crown. Thank you for the follow. A Web Awesome version of the crown, as well as like the enter and arrow keys. It's just a little quick add-on type thing. Didn't look at the bottom of it at the thingy. That's cool. Yeah, it was. I didn't actually say anything about it at the event that I hosted, but yeah, when I took this to the Novel Keys meetup, I made sure to write on the card, "Look at my butt," so people would know to pick it up and look at the bottom. But yeah, it's a fun little detail. Fun. And of course the engraved weight, which nobody sees, but the go make something awesome. A little catchphrase. So let's get this together. I've been yapping. All right, let me make sure I got the pins going in the right way. Pins toward the top. Cool. I'm glad that is there. Oh, the weight engraving. Yeah, it's fun. Same reason that we color match our switches sometimes, right? Nobody knows, but it's a fun... I know, and it's a fun little secret. A fun little encouragement. Oops. Kind of hiding out up there. All right, cable. Come on now. There we go. Makes our ADHD happy. Excellent. That is the goal. The keyboard should make you happy. I think I need the larger bit. Larger bit. Same goes for matching PCB. That is not a level that I have gotten to yet, is matching PCBs. All right, let's get our keycaps back on. Got about a half hour left. Oh, whoops. Actually, I wonder... Didn't put this back in. Let's try without it. See how it sounds without the case foam. See what we think. Here. Oh, actually, I thought about doing some of the different colored accents. I don't remember which ones I have here. So the Kickstarter version only came with the blue accents. So arrows enter our little flag. The full set comes with a bunch of different accent colors. And this was not available to the general public through the Kickstarter. You can still actually... Oh man, what am I doing? I should plug this. Wrong window. Here we go. Go back to this, and it's on. Oh, maybe. Well, Mode's been redoing their website, so I actually don't know if these exist on there anymore. They do. Sweet. If you too want these keycaps, they are still for sale. But yeah, DSS Font Awesome. So this 60 to 75% kit is what came with the board through the Kickstarter. So it was basically just to cover the Sonnet, with some, extra options of different things. So you could kind of do this more coding focused column, or like the castle up, down, and then end is a bomb. So, and a couple different bottom row layout options and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we made it available for sale because you can still buy. I think you can buy the. Maybe I can't remember. We may have bought out the rest of their stock of the keyboard. I can't remember for sure. But anyway, the full base kit, which has a lot more options, is also available. Unfortunately, no multicolored ISO enters, but Oh no! Well, thank you for reading, Max. I appreciate you being able to read. Well, you can look at the kitting at least. Maybe we bought out the rest of the stock of that too. I know we have a ton at the office. So if you know our CEO, maybe reach out to him. So it was available for sale at one time. I'm sorry about that. back when I first originally streamed this board, back in June, it was still for sale on the website. So sorry for gaslighting everyone. Let's see. I feel like we should do some yellow. And maybe something I do enjoy doing is like the Voltron keycaps of like doing the whole cluster. Well, maybe in that case we'll do a gray enter and then multicolored keycaps. That might be kind of nice. What do we think? Stream must have been a big hit. No, it was not. I will tell you that right now. It was fine. Let's see, I've got a couple other kits here. This must be in... This might have the... Oh, this has the ISO Awesome in it at least. Get a look at that. Which is fun. Was I already using? No, I used the blue Awesome on this one. What do I have on the other one? That is the blue Awesome as well. Ah, there's my gray Awesome. We've got two different kits of this whole thing, so they've gotten a little jumbled. Let's see. So that's an option. Go ahead. That is louder for sure. I like it. Pipe. Backspace. Oof. Yeah, it's got that flex in it. I put the standoffs because these poor little HMX legs would not hold it in otherwise. I guess we did font. Let's do... Oh wait, what am I doing with the shift key? What am I doing? I think what I had done before was the Font Awesome, but I think I'll actually swap this out for the stepped caps, which is also a favorite of mine. Which is... If I can dig it out. Oh, that's on the other board actually as well. Too many bags. There it is. Oh no, it's disappeared. It vanished. Yeah, numpad, nice. There it is. One of my favorite ones, let's see if I can get it to focus, is More Cowbell. This is an actual icon in our library. You can do this basically with any icon using our icon wizard to add little modifiers to it. But, oh yeah, I actually want this to be, my brain is a mush. But we have that as a specific discrete icon in our library is More Cowbell, which is quite fun. I think I'm actually going to swap out these two and go a little Star Wars with the column. So we will want our TIE Fighter. There's a calculator. A little smiley poop. There's code. There's something you could use for screenshots. A little robot. Just a gray Font Awesome flag. Sparkles. Sparkles, sparkles. A ghost. Lock. Search. Ah, X-Wing. There's the bomb. Where are you? Ah, Millennium Falcon. I'm looking. For the Death Star. And I don't, oh, it's probably still in here. Coffee, terminal. Oh. Huh. Maybe I purloined it for the other board. I have this on 2 boards right now, which has gotten a little bit hairy. I should probably just combine them into one bag so I actually don't get constantly confused all the time. But this keycap set was actually probably well underway when I joined Font Awesome 4 years ago. No, has it been 4 years? It'll be 4 next year. Almost 4 years. But I did get to help design the case, and I did get to help with color matching a little bit. Ah, there's the Death Star. Don't know why it was in this bag, but there we go. DSS is not. DSS is sculpted. DSA is uniform. And I remember that by being DSA, DS all the same, and the DSS, the last S, being sculpt. I don't know if that's true, but that's how I remember the difference. But this is sculpted. So let's make sure. So we got that, 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 and that. Thank you for following. Alfalfa is my name. It really is. Welcome. Falcon and our TIE Fighter. I think I'll stick with the media keys as is, because I do have those currently mapped to what they actually do. 96 followers. Very cool. We are closer. Maybe next stream. Well, speaking of next stream, are you still here, Frederick? I have a question for you if you are still here. I can also just message you. Have your other silent switches come in yet? If so, I can grab them from you this week and we could build your board next week if you want. Let's see what we got over here. These are the arrows. I want to stick with the blue awesome. I like the blue awesome. Frederick, oh, you didn't order them. Okay. I mean, it's up to you. I want it to be the way you want it to be. So, I am at your leisure, sir. But it's also a hot swap, so you can change it anytime. But if that's the case, maybe we'll do a little Frederick Core stream next week, as Ty mentioned. Oh, and Ty, have you dug into all your Dynacap stuff yet? Have you started sorting springs? I've watched a number of EC and Dynacap builds at this point, and it feels like untangling springs is like one of the most unfortunate parts of it. Or one of the most tedious parts. Not in any rush, I'm already would build a keyboard for me. Okay. Having a busy ass week. I'm busy on Saturday, so I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do it. But when you do, I wanna hear it. I wanna see it. Let's see, we don't need those anymore. Oh wait, I think I kept... I think I kept this as function. Didn't I? What did I do on each side? I think I did this and this. Okay, now we're cooking. Now I'm remembering what order I put these in before. Let's see. Hopefully some night this week. I might ask Evan for some tips. I'm getting mixed signals on what should and shouldn't be lubed and how. Did it come with that new guide that Garrett was designing? So I remember watching his streams with him designing the guide of like what to lube and what not to lube. Is that part of the mixed signals? Yeah, I open the box of the springs and close it back. Not today. I could picture that just being like, I don't have the strength to deal with this today. Like all those springs. Let's see. A, S, D, F, G. That's how I would feel too. Maybe it didn't actually dig in. I feel like, and maybe I'm mistaken, but I feel like part of the guide was referencing like the specific parts of the housings and whatnot, or the sliders to lube, like the specific corners and stuff. Like even also recommending the specific type of lube to use and all that. Just opened it and closed it. Gotta get home. Got home. Okay. Gotcha. I imagine it's a lot to sort through. ZXCV. We'll double check. I think that was the case at least. With like diagrams, like kind of a line work, exploded orthographic projection of the different components and all that. I think that's a better spring weight for this, and it's definitely louder. I'm digging it. Okay, so we don't need that. We don't need that. We'll go back to the old Font Awesome. And then, do I want to do blue arrows, or do we want to? We could also do gray arrows, or we could Voltron it with a nice. I think I might want to do that. So let's see. Let's do. What did I do on the other one? I think I did. And I love the way that we decided to kit this as well, where we have essentially inverted row for the up arrow, so you can kind of have a scooped cluster all on its own, which is cool. Curious to saw your post. Is yours for a bower, or are you converting something else? I am also curious. I'm waiting for the cloud line eventually. and the Dynapack they're going to have for that. So I think, what do we got here? What do we got? I'm trying to remember, is it? Pretty sure that that goes. Oh wait, that's row 4, isn't it? So this would be. Okay. I'm tracking. Like so. So those match. So let's do blue. Why do I only have 3 blue over here? I guess we'll steal one. Or a lot of people say plastic is good, so I'm trying that first. Gotcha. So down, we'll do a blue right. It's kind of a little bit more distant from our enter. Do yellow. Right, yellow up and red down, maybe? There we go. That's kind of fun. The spacing feels a little bit off, but it seems like there's a larger gap between these two than there should be. Maybe... Is it the green that's causing a problem? It's really close. What am I doing with that stupid puller? Or is it the PCB shifted? No. Green was just kind of sitting a little bit weird. Yeah, well, we can look into that later. Tolerance seemed a little bit off. Honestly, the Bauer is good for what it is, but ever since I put the weight in it, I haven't been able to get it to sound how I want. So I'm excited to go EC mode. Okay. Got extras. Pine number. Oh, is that like the sliders? Slider and housing colors? Nice. Yeah, I really like that they offer those as options so you can have a little bit more customizability than just, you know, domes. It's a nice touch. All right, I'll just chuck these in the box. All right, let's give the music a pause here. Let's see what we got. Kalaki, yes indeed. I was using 45, or maybe they weren't 45, the lighter weight HMX clouds in here before. And I also still had, I took out the plate foam and the case foam. Stuck with the hardest lattice blocks, but I hadn't built a loud Sonnet in a while, so I wanted to try that again. I feel like I need to adjust something a little bit there. There's like a, I feel like there's extra gap here, but maybe I'm just imagining it. No, seems like it's appropriate. Maybe I just didn't notice before. I like it. I may end up toning it down slightly. I might put one of the foams back in. But I do dig the stronger springs paired with this. Nice. All right. A few minutes to go. That's good. Thank you, sir. I value your sound input. I feel like you've got a really good ear for it. I know it's hard to tell over stream, but sounds great off to bed. Good night. Oh, there's the music. Okay. I was like, what happened? Goodbye, Tim. Sleep well. It's 5 or 6 hours ahead there right now. It is late, buddy. Yeah, I do like that. I do like that. Speaking a little bit louder. I'm also curious, your Agar mini video inspired me to pick up the green pre-order. The Agars are so pretty. I don't feel like I have issues. I mean, I do have an HHKB that I like. I have a thermal, and I actually have it lent to someone currently. And I can make peace with HHKB because it still has the keys, albeit in a different configuration. And I've been trying to resist the Agar. Not the mini, but just the normal one. But I did recommend it. A friend of mine at my co-working space has really gotten into HHKBs, or the idea of HHKBs, after the event that I ran in October. And so I actually recommended the Agar to him the other day because he was looking for, like, what's a good, nice looking, like, because he likes the idea of the actual, like, happy hacking keyboard, but doesn't want, like, a cheap plastic looking one. As, you know, even though it's, you know, got a lot of history and whatever. So we might see if we can get him in a Agar. Super looking forward to issuing a partner still my Agar. He loves it. Resisted the regular one too, but the green and pink PC ones push me over the edge. Yeah, and you're going to pair the green one with Gorp, right? Or the green one with Gorp, which I think is a smart play. I need to find a nice green board to put Gorp on when Gorp comes in, because I didn't know. Because I know, oh yeah, in your test stream, Keyrist, you had the Cosmic Sands. And I thought that there was an anodized greenish one of that too, wasn't there? And I thought that would look good with Gorp, and then I didn't end up getting the Cosmic Sands. So gotta get the ads kit first when the extras come in. Yeah, 100%. Well, since this is built, let's try doing a giveaway in the last 7 minutes with the folks that are here. So here's some rules. You got to be a follower, and you will pay for shipping if you win and you want it. Continental United States. So what I think we'll do, we'll give away some Woucher light tactiles, top PC, bottom nylon, stem, palm. 90 of them. They are stock. I had this written down because I was thinking about selling them. They were 39 cents a switch when I bought them. But let's see how this goes. So what we need to do, let me review myself here. I think what we do, Woucher light tactiles. I think you'll have 2 minutes. And let's see if the instructions show up when we do it. Let me click the button. So use exclamation point gimme if you want to enter. I don't know why it says has started for viewer. I'll need to look into that. And Frank's not here to fix it. But if you live in the US and you're a follower and you would like 90 Woucher light tactiles, go ahead and enter. Thank you, Lynx. There's one person. Oh wait, I think the timer is set to... Hold on. Hold on. I think the timer is set to 2 hours and not 2 minutes. So I'm just going to cut it off in a little bit. And we'll fix that. When you're filling out the fields and it says like timer, everything else in this damn backend is in seconds. Apparently not the giveaway timers. The giveaway timers is apparently in minutes, even though it doesn't say that. You have a Switch surplus? Bud Light tacos. The odds are insane. Well, right now it's going to links. It's 100% chance. Give it another minute or so. If anyone else wants to enter. I also have a Switch surplus. Why do you think I'm getting rid of these? Easy win. Nobody else wants to enter. Not even. Come on, Frederick. Let's add some tension here. No. Well, this wouldn't be enough to cover your petrichor, probably. Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't even need paid shipping. I could just hand it to you on Thursday. I could also just give it to you, Ty. Here we go. All right, I'm going to count down. Everyone else can enter. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can no longer enter the giveaway. There you go, Lynx. Shocker. Dark Horse win. There you go. DM me on Twitch. and I'll get them to you. I feel like as this first winner, we'll waive the shipping. I'll just send them to you. I appreciate that somebody entered at all. Send me your deets. I'll get them to you. All right. Just stepped off the train. Perfect. First ever winner. Congratulations. We'll give away more Switches in the future. I've got some heavy tactiles. I've got melodics. I've got Prevail Nebulas. I've got Prevail, the other Prevail Switches. I've got some other stuff. And then, of course, I want to give away that keyboard. So we are gonna give away some more stuff. And I know we've definitely raced marbles against each other on Frank streams, and I've never won anything, so I'm proud to send something to you. There we go. And now I know the giveaway thing works, which was a great test. So do I do complete, I think? Giveaway complete. And I need to figure out why it said like it's starting for viewer or whatever it said. I don't know what that means. But anyway. Oh, it's a... Oh, I think that means that anybody can enter it. That's what it is. So it's a stupid data entry command thing. There we go. That's gone now. Right, this is consolation for me also never winning anything from Frank. Well, there you go. Frank came and blessed our stream with a bunch, being a mod and a bunch of new commands, and so now you can reap the sweet fruit of his efforts and enjoy some free Switches. Anyway, Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. We will be streaming next week. I think we'll do Frederick's board. We're going to do our first commission build next week. We will build a petrichor as blue and as quiet as we possibly can. Those are our dictates for Mr. Polk. I've entered what feels like hundreds of keyboard stuff giveaways and have never won, so I feel your pain. I've like won a couple raffles. I mean, so that's still, so you mean you still have to pay money. I've never gotten anything free for keyboards on stream or at meetups, which is why I've enjoyed giving them away. Like the 2 events that I've run, I've enjoyed giving away keyboards, and now I get to give some more stuff away here. So that's really fun. I enjoy doing it. You best believe I'll be all in there if you end up doing the Envoy. Oh, I'm gonna give away the Envoy. And more people better enter. Or I guess just links make sure you're here again when we hit 100 followers and be the only one to enter, and you're going to win an Envoy. So there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. Let's see. Let's do a raid real quick. Who is streaming right now? Let's look at... It's easier to look at my phone than trying to navigate a bajillion windows. Scare off all the competition. It's just too fierce. Kim. Let's do it. Let's raid Kim. Raid. Oh, this is not the keyboard that's plugged in. Let's plug it in. Let's use it. Ugh. Make sure that I'm spelling her name right. 2 N's in Lynn. Okay. Here we go. All right, there we go. The Envoy will have 3 entrants and 9 of us will win. Hey, you know what? The more the merrier, right? But really appreciate y'all all being here, and we'll be back next week with a first commission build. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of stabs. It's going to take longer. So cheers, folks, and see you next week.